What is up, guys? Delboy here. Just a quick preview for the first Dazn card, obviously promoted by Eddie Hearn. It has been titled Worlds Collide, and I am going to be sharing my thoughts on the card in general. I've got to be honest, the card itself, bang average, in my honest opinion. Not terrible, but nothing to really write home about. But I will go through the card and share my thoughts on each fight. I will start with what I think is the best fight on the card. Daniel Roman will be fighting Gavin McDonnell. Daniel Roman will be defending his WBA Super Bantamweight title. I actually think this is a decent fight. It should make for some interesting, exchanges. There should be some good moments. Neither guy is a big puncher, but both guys are technically sound. Both guys do, have the ability to have a scrap. I think we're going to get some good inside exchanges, but ultimately I feel Daniel Roman is the better fighter. He does most things a little bit better. He's a little bit more dynamic, and overall I just feel Daniel Roman has a higher ceiling. But Roman versus Gavin McDonnell isn't a bad fight. Gavin McDonnell, he's climbed through domestic level fights. He's been the European champion. He's had one fight at world-class level so far against Ray Vargas. He did come up short in that fight. He clearly lost, but he proved that he wasn't completely out of his depth. So again, I think he'll give Daniel Roman a good fight, but ultimately, again, at this level, I feel he's going to come up short once again, but decent enough fight. Should be good to watch. The next fight on the card, Artur Beterbiev versus Callum Johnson. Artur Beterbiev will be making his first defence of his IBF light heavyweight title. Now, this fight to me, I've got to be honest, on paper, it does seem like a bit of a mismatch. Callum Johnson, he's only proven at domestic level. His best win is a one-round demolition job over Frank Buglioni. Apart from that, there's not really too much on the resume of any note. Callum Johnson hasn't fought anywhere near world level, and it's going to be interesting to see how he handles this. Callum Johnson, he's not a terrible fighter by any means. He does have some good skills. He was a good amateur, Commonwealth gold medalist. He's a decent puncher. He can counter, so he's got some things going for him. He's not terrible. Like I said, he can punch, but he is just so unproven. Like I said, he's had one fight at domestic level, and that's it. Throughout his career, he's been plagued by injuries. So I'm really not sure how he's going to handle this big jump up in class. But I'm not against it because ultimately he is 33 years old. He's in this game, to obviously make some money, but also to win world titles. So, this may be his one and only opportunity. So he needs to take it, and we'll see what he does. But I can't really see this fight being too competitive. I feel Beterbiev is too strong, too powerful, too good, and I feel that, Callum Johnson will fold under Beterbiev's pressure. Beterbiev, like I say, he cuts the ring off well, good finishing instincts, it looks like a real menace in the ring at times. So I don't really see Beterbiev versus Callum Johnson as a competitive fight. Beterbiev should win that fight relatively comfortably if, he's what they say he is. Another half-decent fight on the card, though, Jesse Vargas versus Thomas Delorme. Again, that's not going to set the world alight, but I think that fight will actually be decent. I do expect Jesse Vargas to win it, to be honest. I think Jesse Vargas over the years has proven he's a far better fighter than Thomas Delorme. Thomas Delorme, to me, he's a guy who, he has ability. He's got some nice quick hands. He has skills. He's got a good jab. But he always seems very fragile. And, Jesse Vargas, he's just too well-rounded. He's too tough. He's too strong. He's too experienced. I feel Vargas will do the job here and either get a late stoppage or win a decision. But Thomas Delorme, early on, with his hand speed, I think he will give Jesse Vargas some trouble early on. This fight just makes me mad. Jarrell Miller versus Thomas Adamek. I made a video about this fight earlier when this fight was first announced, and a lot of Polish fans that came on thought I was being disrespectful to Thomas Adamek. That's not the case at all. You know, I've got a lot of respect for Adamek. In fact, you know, I don't think Adamek got enough sort of credit for the career he did have, but he's past his best at this point. He was never a good heavyweight, and he should have retired after the Vitaly Klitschko loss back in like 2011, whenever it was. You know, Thomas Adamek is 41 years old, former light heavyweight. He's shot to bits, and he's fighting a big guy like Jarrell Miller who brings non-stop pressure. This is going to be ugly, I'm telling you now. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be similar to the Joe Joyce versus Kaladze fight, where you've got a small heavyweight just, you know, backpedaling, being beaten from pillar to post by the bigger guy and the younger guy. So, you know, Jarrell Miller, he's going to walk right through Thomas Adamek, and he's not going to have too much trouble doing it. And if he does have trouble, then, well, you know, that's not a good look for him. If you're interested in women's boxing, a female by the name of Erica Annabella Ferreyes will be fighting Jessica McCaskill for the super lightweight female title, WBC. Again, I'm not really into female boxing, I've got to be honest, but I'll put a little mention of it. And that's pretty much it. You know, there's also some Matchroom USA prospects making their debuts, so they'll be, you know, worth looking at. Also, by the way, Anthony Sims Jr., light heavyweight prospect that again signed to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom USA. He's going to be fighting. He looks like quite a good prospect. You know, nice quick hands and power. He's an interesting talent. So, yeah, the card itself, for the first Dazn card, after all the hype, after all the bluster, after all the talk, is it great? Absolutely not. It's very mediocre, but it's not terrible, you know. I think you're going to get a couple of fun fights there. You know, I think the Delorme Vargas fight could be quite decent, like I said, and also the Daniel Roman versus Gavin McDonald fight, that should be decent. But overall, it doesn't really get the pulses racing. But listen, we're boxing fans, so we're going to give it a watch. We're going to give it a look at, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the first Dazn card. Tell me what you guys think. Peace.